He whispers, "We will touch the heavens." At dawn, Shinar's plain's stillness holds. Kaelen, rod in hand, etches sacred lines. Runners and stone-bearers move as one. The obsidian monolith glows. The air hums with ancient power. As the summer sun blazes, limestone blocks settle with deep thuds, locking the obsidian monolith into its basin. Kaelen feels the vibration rise through his arm. Ancient power stirs, the earth accepting its weight. Silent and sure, as time, the stone whispers ancient secrets, yet no one listens anymore. By the fifth autumn, the structure pierces the sky. Wooden scaffolds groan as Kaelen watches from his weathered platform. Wind carries wet clay and bitumen human ambition. Relentless, he feels the city's pulse beneath his boots. Winter's chill bites the fourth tier. Kaelen stands firm as priests burn incense toward the pale sky. Stone walls breathe alive, ancient. Cold steel rod meets rough masonry. He breathes deep, tasting freedom's sharp tang. Spring thaws the heights as year 8 dawns. Kaelen stands on the gallery's edge, air thin and electric. Curved walls cradle the open sky. Below, crowds hum again. The wind sighs, and the world holds its breath. At the 10th year's peak, the sanctuary opens to a perfect blue circle. Kaelen watches the final stone settle. He points skyward as the air hums with unseen power, stirring ancient dust. The air thrums with something older than memory. Midnight falls. The air stills. Kaelen grips the cold stone as the obsidian monolith hums with quiet light. No wind stirs, only shifting stone whispers. Above, the dark leans close. The silence that followed was not peace. It was the hollow echo of a broken covenant. Dawn cracks the gallery's hush. A linguistic shatter rends their shared tongue. Kaelen clutches his rod as obsidian ripples. Workers scream in alien tongues. Final text. Mid-morning chaos erupts down the western stairwell. Kaelen descends as the obsidian monolith cracks open. Voices split into unfamiliar tongues. Pleas bouncing off stone. Workers fracture into isolated groups. The air hums with ancient power. High noon trembles as the eastern arch splits, glowing amber. Kaelen stands firm while the monolith yields, geometry surrendering to ancient will. The tower tilts, foundation shifting slow, air humming with He turns once, then walks on. Late afternoon shadows stretch as Kaelen descends, bronze rod tight in hand. The monolith rests on a cracked plinth. Upper galleries lie empty. Cold stone steps mark the end of the impossible climb. He glances back. The silence between them speaks louder than any war ever could. Dusk falls on the courtyard as factions part, voices rising in new dialects. Kaelen watches from the broken stone, tents rising in the fading gold. The light lingers soft, solemn marking the end of unity. Under a new moon, exiles slip from the outer perimeter. Kaelen guards as trails vanish into darkness. The monolith glows faintly, its fractured surface whispering of forgotten vows. He points to the staircase stolen by time. Silent, sacred. He turns, walks away. First light returns to the abandoned summit. Kaelen stands alone, bronze rod leaning on weathered stone. Ash blankets the steps, wind whispers sand and distant birds. The weight of history settles softly. He breathes. New text. Midday sun bathes the western ramparts as new voices rise in the breeze. Kaelen watches settlements bloom across the plains, fires glow, crops stir. 1,000 worlds awaken, each holding a shard of what was lost. Final text. Sunset bathes the plaza in deep shadows as the crowd gathers, silent and solemn. Kaelen stares at the ruined tower, its fractured surface, a silent testament. The air stills weighted with the quiet truth of final text. Deep night cloaks the river delta as exiles depart. Kaelen stands at the water's edge, watching sails catch the dawn wind. The monolith looms distant, a silent sentinel. Dark waters carry a fractured world forward into an uncertain. Dawn breaks over the eastern shore as new communities take root. Kaelen watches from the ridge merchants and farmers nurture fertile soil. The fractured monolith now rests in a memorial wall. Division birthed a richer tapestry. Distant laughter dances with the morning breeze. New text. Noonlight glows on the ruined tower's base as the memorial rises. Kaelen watches carvings emerge. Masons work in silence. Priests murmur prayers. Fresh mortar and ancient dust linger soft, sacred, enduring. A lesson etched not just 15 seconds read time target. Yes, under a clear sky, the new city thrives. Kaelen stands in the bustling plaza as children laugh and elders chat. His bronze rod leans against weathered stone. Golden hour glows.